At 0710 local time, a Tomahawk missile erupts from the deck of the USS Spruance and starts screaming towards Iran. Then the booster falls away and a turbofan the size of a coffee table spools to life, and the Tomahawk drops to 50 feet above the waterline.
And Iran was about to find out firsthand why Americans don't have free healthcare.
Within 90 seconds, 8 missiles are gone. 300 miles northwest, 2 other destroyers are running the same drill.
Threading between Iranian coastal surveillance stations on routes designed to exploit every known gap in coverage.
30 minutes. Nobody in Iran has any idea they're coming.
Somewhere on the Gulf Coast, an Iranian radar operator is probably drinking tea and watching a blank scope.
He has about 39 minutes of peace left. But Tomahawks are patient and slow. 550 miles per hour across open water means 40 minutes of exposure, where a single coastal radar ping could compromise the entire southern attack. An Iranian air defense operator at a Bavar 373 battery watches a dozen slow-moving contact. He fires. The interceptor streaks off the rail. Over $1 million, it tracks a drone the size of a riding lawnmower.
Closes at 3 times the speed of sound and turns it into confetti. But it wasn't a Tomahawk missile. What she just saw blow up was a low-cost unmanned combat attack system, or Lucas drone, operated by Task Force Scorpion Strike. The drones themselves, manufactured by Spectral Works in Mesa, Arizona.
Rumors engineered from captured Iranian Shahed 136s cost $35,000 to produce.
Aircraft over Iran. He fires again, another million, and again. This is cost exchange warfare at an industrial scale. Show up in 30 minutes. Worse, every time that battery fires, it broadcasts its exact position to the passive sensors.
On the F-35s now crossing the Iraqi border, that operator is spending his ammunition and painting a target on his own forehead at the same time.
Those interceptors they just burned through, they were gonna need every single one of them in about 25 minutes.
It wasn't a $35,000 drone. 12 F-15 IRAMs had been climbing east through Iraqi airspace for 90 minutes.
Tucked behind a screen of F-35 I-8ers running silent in the lead. Electronic warfare suites passively cataloging.
At 0805 local time, the formation reaches launch altitude over western Iraq.
The lead weapons officer in the back seat has been watching his targeting display update for the last hour.
Refined 3 times via Link 16 from an Israeli Oran intelligence aircraft circling over Jordan. He confirms the final solution.
The pilot squeezes the release. 2,500 pounds drop away, and the ram jumps, nose pitching up from the sudden weight loss. The fly-by-wire connecting before the pilot's hands can. Below the jet, the solid rocket motor lights.
As the missile climbs away on a ballistic arc towards Tehran, 11 more rounds release within seconds of each other.
These weapons need minutes.
The Tomahawks are 10 minutes from the Gulf Coast. And the air defense batteries the Lucas drones have been emptying all morning are running out of things to shoot. Carrying JDAMs and GBU-39 small-diameter bombs. This is where the F-35 sensor fusion earns every dollar of its price tag.
The pilot rolling in on the Ministry of Defense does not flip between radar screens, infrared feeds, and threat displays.
Jet's computers merge everything. Its own sensors link 16 data from every aircraft in formation.
He sees every Iranian radar still operating within 200 miles. Every friendly aircraft. The GPS coordinates of 3 buildings he's about to put a bomb through.
One screen, one picture. Like driving with a GPS that shows every traffic camera, speed trap, and pothole, all updated in real time.
30 years building an integrated air defense network. The F-35 turned it into a highlight reel.
Use the back floor to attack. It rolls to 5,000 feet.
The weapon is only 150 pounds, a quarter the size of a standard JDAM.
Shaped wings let it glide over 40 miles from release point, and at this range, the circular error.
The SDB punches through the ministry roof and detonates on a delayed fuse inside the 3rd floor, the level where military planning documents live. Across Tehran, the pattern repeats. The Ministry of Intelligence, the Atomic Energy Organization headquarters, Parchin Military Complex.
Each one selected because it cannot be rebuilt quickly, relocated, or replaced from backup systems.
The F-35 eyes are not hitting random government buildings. They're severing the administrative nervous system that connects Iran's military leaders to its U.S.
But every minute the F-35 spend over Tehran, their fuel ticks down, and their exposure grows.
The command building folds inward. Fuel storage behind it catches, and a column of black smoke punches straight up through the morning humidity.
4 minutes later, an F-15E Strike Eagle from the 48th Fighter Wing, forward deployed to Jordan from RAF Lakenheath.
The weapons systems officer in the backseat has been staring at this target for the last 40 minutes on his APG-82 radar display. On the flight deck, an FA-8E Super Hornet from VFA-41 Black Aces sits on Catapult 1 with both F-14 engines at military power. The catapult officer drops to one knee and touches the deck. The holdback breaks and the shuttle fires.
0 to 165 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. 4G shoved the pilot's spine into the ejection seat.
The Black Aces are headed for Chabahar, Iran's only deep-water port on the Gulf of Oman. Tomahawks hit the command post and fuel storage 20 minutes ago.
The Black Aces are headed for Chabahar, Iran's only deep-water port on the Gulf of Oman.
The petroleum reserves are throwing a column of black smoke, visible 60 miles out on the strike package's forward-looking infrared.
But the submarine piers are still standing, and a Ghadir-class midget sub that slips out to sea can carry mines into the Strait of Hormuz.
On a hull small enough to hide in commercial shipping traffic. That cannot happen. The lead Hornet rolls in on the submarine pier.
With a GBU-31 JDAM. His wingman from VFA-14 Top Hatters follows 30 seconds later and puts a second 2,000-pounder.
2 unit small-diameter bombs later, and the battery ceases to exist.
Home to Iran's Kilo-class submarines and the IRGC Navy's Fast Attack headquarters.
Home to Iran's Kilo-class submarines and the IRGC Navy's Fast Attack headquarters, the carrier air wing still has plenty of weapons left on the rails as insurance against any IRGC boat brave enough to sortie. None do. But 500 miles north, the F-35s over Tehran are running low on fuel.
And the air defense system in the western mountains is now coming alive.
Iranian engineers did something genuinely impressive. They spent 2 years building a domestic replacement.
What the IDF will later designate the SA-65 Mobile Phased Array Radar. Roughly 150-kilometer engagement range. The ceiling of what Iran could build under sanctions.
They positioned it in the Kermanshah Mountains, guarding the western corridor Israeli jets have been using all morning.
The battery commander makes the decision every air defense operator dreads. He switches to fire control, full power, continuous track. The moment he transmits, he is finished. Simultaneously, an F-35I that's been passively mapping that emission for 90 minutes passes the precise grid.
An AGM-88 missile drops off the pylon, lights its rocket motor, and accelerates to nearly Mach 3.
The missile's multi-mode seeker, GPS, inertial, and millimeter wave homing, doesn't care if the radar shuts down.
That sequence rewrites the rest of the day, because the aircraft that have been orbiting over Iraq for 3 hours, waiting for exactly this moment,
watching the air defense picture shift from red to amber. Now, it's go time. The lead Raptor pilot pushes both throttles to military power.
His APG-77 radar is painting everything within 125 miles. Tracking contact. Raptors that aren't carrying bombs. Their sole mission is to establish absolute air supremacy. In a desperate response, the Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force scrambles at its remaining egg.
The Iranian pilots are blind. Their radars can't see the stealth fighters. The F-22's sensors spot the Iranian jets climbing out.
2 seconds. Long enough to drop an AM-120D AMRAAM.
With the skies completely cleared and the air defense network shattered, the path is finally open for the Flying a 30-hour round trip directly from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, 2 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers slip into Iranian airspace completely undetected.
Their payload cannot be carried by any other stealth aircraft. The GBU-57, massive. Over the Fordo facility, built deep inside a mountain to withstand conventional strikes, the B-2 opens its bay.
It doesn't explode on the surface. The hardened steel casing punches through 60 feet of solid rock and
Insilicate centrifuge cascades required for uranium enrichment are crushed under
200 miles away, the second Spirit lines up on Natanz, another deep underground enrichment site that conventional weapons couldn't scratch.
Their payloads delivered, the B-2s bank west, slipping back into the electromagnetic shadows, completely untouchable.
At CENTCOM headquarters, the battle damage assessments begin rolling in. The physical destruction is total.
the USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Group turns into the wind to recover the last of its returning aircraft.
For the leadership in Tehran, the reality of the morning sets in. They challenged the U.S. military.
It was a stark reminder to the world. When the United States decides to dismantle a military, there is nowhere deep enough or far enough to hide.